Welcome back to this channel, and today we will continue our series of tutorials in the fundamentals of Java programming language. And in this video, I will talk about arithmetic operators. So before we begin, don't forget to show some support for this channel by liking, by commenting, and subscribing to the channel in order to receive more videos. And I'm also open for comments and suggestions. Feel free to leave a comment or to contact me. All right, so today we will talk about arithmetic operators. But first of all, I need to define what an operator is. So an operator is simply a character or a symbol that represents an action. So in this case, we are talking about arithmetic operators. So we are simply talking about certain symbols that are used in Java programming languages that will allow us to perform some arithmetic operations or some mathematical operations. Okay, so here I have put a list of these operators. We have 5 of them. So we have the addition operator, which is represented by the plus sign, as you can see on the screen. We have the subtraction operator, which is represented by the minus sign here. We have the multiplication and the division. And the last one is the modulus or the remainder operator. So these are all arithmetic operators that are used in Java. Another thing that we need to keep in mind is that just like when we do mathematical operations, we use numbers. Okay, so it's the same thing in programming as well. These Java arithmetic operators are basically used to manipulate integral and floating point data types. That means they are used to perform operations on integral or like whole numbers and then decimal numbers. So we won't use them, for example, if you want to use a string data type, because a string data type is not a number. But we can use these arithmetic operators when we want to manipulate like floating points or data types or double data types or integer data type or any other data type that is a number. Okay, so if you can refer to the video we made on data types, and you can see the list of all the data types that are that can hold numbers. So that's it. So like I said, so we can use these operators with both integral, like whole numbers, and then decimal numbers. So I'm gonna give some examples, and so that we will see how we can work on that. So I'm gonna start by explaining a little bit more further each one of these operators. So I will start with the addition operator. Okay, as you can already know, you've already guessed, the addition operator is an operator that is used to perform an addition of 2 values. Okay, let me say, for example, if I can have a variable that I call a here, and I want to initialize it, and I say that I can say that a is equal to 10 plus let me say 10 plus 8. 10 plus 8 here, okay? So as you can see, I have the plus sign here, which is the arithmetic operator that I am using. So that means that the value that will be stored in A would be actually the addition of 10 and 8. So that means that I will have 18 that will be stored into my variable A. So to check that, if I do a system that print line A, you will see that in my console down here, I will get 18. Now run. So you see, I have 18 down here. So that's actually how this works. So we can, so the addition operator performs the addition of two values. It can also perform the addition of a value, a constant value, and then a variable, okay? So I'm gonna show you another example. For example, let me initialize this from the beginning here, and I say it's 18. And then I will have another variable declaration. I will call it B, for example. And I will say that B is equal to A plus A plus 10, okay? So that means I am initializing my value B, but I'm saying that the value that we need to store in the variable B must be A plus 10. So what it's going to do is that it's going to take the value that is being stored in A and then add it to the 10 that I have put here. So if I change my system out, the print line, and I say I want to print the value that is being stored in B, here you'll see that in my console, when I run, I will have 28 showing, okay? So as you can see, with this one, we can use to, like I showed you in the previous example, we can make the addition of two constant values, you know, or we can make the addition of a constant value and then a variable that is actually holding a value inside. And we can also use that to make the summation or the addition between two variables, okay? So let me say I'll add another integer here where I will say C, for example, and I can say that C is equal to A plus B, okay? So as you can see, A here is holding 18 and B is holding 28 because it's A plus 10. And you will see that if so that means that the value that will be stored in C will be 18 plus 28 of the value that was stored in B here. So 18 plus 28, when I run, you will see that I will get the value here, it's 46, okay? So that's actually how we can use this arithmetic operator. So we can add two constant values, like I gave the example 10 plus 8 straight, and then store it in a variable. We can add a variable and then a constant value. We can also add two variables, okay? Two variables that are already holding values inside them. We can add the two of them, okay? So as I was saying in the beginning, here we can see that I'm just manipulating numbers. I can't do that with strings because strings are sequences of characters. So the arithmetic operators are used to manipulate, to perform mathematical operations on numbers, on data types that are represented by numbers, okay? So another thing that we can say is that I can have numbers, I can add numbers here like 10, it can be a long chain of numbers that I can add to these expressions, okay? So they all have to be numbers, and it will all work. Another thing that I want to show is that I can also, you know, put a certain value inside my integer c here. I can say that c is equal to c plus, let me say, 20. Okay, c is equal to c plus 20. So what it's going to do is that it's going to take the first value that was stored in the variable c here. It's going to put it down here, and then it's going to add it to the 20 that I have added here. So like I said in previous videos, that if variables can hold different values in the course of the execution of your program. So this is also another example where at a certain moment of my program, I've put a certain value in my variable, and then the line that is following, I am assigning a different value. So here what is happening, like I said, is that here, as we found 46, so this in the line following, I will have 46 plus 20 showing here. So when I will do the system that out that print line and see, you will see that I will have 66. Yeah, so 66 here. So this is also another trick that you can do on this, on variables and then arithmetic operators. So another way that you can write this line of code here is you can write it this way, like you will remove the C here and simply put the plus sign at the beginning here. So you see, you put C plus sign and then the assignment operator, and then you put 20. You will see that I will definitely get the 66 when I run. Yeah, I have the 66. So this is the same thing as if you are writing C is equal to C plus 20. Okay, so this is another way that you can write. So this line here is pretty much the same line as this one. Okay, so that's it concerning the addition arithmetic operator. So for the subtraction is basically the same principle as well. For example, if I will use the subtraction, for example, like I said, it's represented by the minus sign here. You'll see that I say B here. So here what I'm saying is that I want, if I output the value that is being stored in B, I will get 8 because what is being stored in A is 18, and here I have A, which is 18, so that I will get 18 minus 10, that will give me 8. Okay, and I want to show on the console the value 8, or the value that is stored in B. So if I run, you see that I have 8 here. So it's pretty much the same thing. I can use another int, call it C, and then say that C is equal to A minus B, and I will output C. That will give me 10. Okay, so 10 because A is 18, so 18 minus B is 8, so 18 minus 8 is 10. I can also do it like C is equal to C minus 5, for example. I will get 5 if I output C. Yeah, 5, because it's taking the value that was stored in C in the previous line and then putting it here and then subtracting 5 out of it. So 10 minus 5 will give us 5. So like I said, this one can also be written like this. You put the minus sign before the assignment operator. So you see C minus, you put the assignment operator and then 5. I will still get 5 because that's actually it. So I want, okay, the latest value that is stored in C, I want to subtract it, to subtract 5 out of it. So that's why I am getting 5 here. For just for purpose of giving you an example, it's pretty much the same thing for the multiplication. The multiplication is you use this multiplication sign here. Okay. So that means I want to do 18 times 10. I will have to get 180 in my console. So that's pretty much it. Okay. And I can also do like C is equal to 8 times B. Okay. And if I want to output C, yeah, so that's the value I get here. So these are pretty much some of the tricks that we can perform when dealing with arithmetic operators, with multiplication. So here we can also say that C, if you want to change the value of C, to modify it, we can say C is equal, I put the multiplication operator and then the assignment operator, and I want it to say 10 here to multiply it by 10. Okay, if I output, you see there's a 0 that's been added here because it's been the value that was stored in C at the beginning here has been multiplied by 10. So we have another 0 that's been added here. So like I said, this here can also be written like this. I want C is equal to C times 10. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. So this is actually it for the division as well. If you want to make division of these values, for example, I want to divide, and I say A divided by 2, it's like I'm saying 18 divided by 2, because A is storing 18. So I will get 9, I guess. Yeah, 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Okay, I can also add another, I will get A times B, A divided by B. A divided by B. So 18 divided by 9, what would I get? 9. Okay. So it's like here we got 18 divided by 2 is 9. And so if I output C instead, I will have to get 2. Yeah. So I have 2 here because it's 18 divided by 9 is 2. I can also say if I want to change the value as a C and the division operator, the assignment operator, and I say that I want to divide it by 2. You see, I will get 1 because this will give me 2 divided by 2. The 2 that was stored here divided by 2. So the new value being stored in C will be 1 here. So this is actually the division. In another video, I'm going to talk about the order of precedence, like when we have a very complex operation where we have the addition, the subtraction, and the multiplication and the division in one single operation. What is going to be the order of precedence, like from where the operation is going to start taking effect. I will make another video on that. So the last, I guess the last operator, arithmetic operator would be the modulus or the remainder. So as we know in mathematics, when we do mathematics, the remainder is actually when you make a division of a number over another one, and sometimes the remainder can be 0, and we use this operator to get this remainder. For example, when I say 18, like here, integer b, that will be a, will be 18 here. So what I'm saying is that I want to get the remainder of the division between 18 and 2, okay? You will see that it will be 0 because there's no remainder. Yeah, it's 0 because there's no remainder. We will get a remainder, for example, if the division is supposed to give us a decimal number, and then we will get a remainder. For example, if I say that 18 divided by 5, for example, you will see that now I will get a remainder in that is 3, okay? And I'm getting 3 because also the remainder because b is an integer. So the result I will get here will be an integer, you know, following the data type used when declaring this variable, okay? So this is actually concerning the remainder of the value. So also the remainder can also follow all the same tricks or the same manipulation that we did with the previous operators. This one, I can say that, okay, I want to get the remainder of the division between A and B. You know, A and B. Okay. So because why I'm getting 0? Because A is 18, and the remainder of between 18 and 5 was 3. So what I'm saying is that I want to get the remainder of the division between 18 and 3. You know, it gives me an even number. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So the remainder is supposed to be 0 because I can't get a decimal number. So that's why I'm getting 0 here. Okay, so even with the remainder, I can also do this. C is put the remainder operator, the assignment operator, and add another value. Let's say, for example, if this, if I changed this value to 17, okay, and then put through here, so now I get a remainder of 1. Or if I remove this, you will see that this value will also change, is 1. Okay, so this is pretty much it concerning the arithmetic operators. And so in the next video, I will talk on certain characteristics of these operators. So until then, thanks for viewing this video, and don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to this channel in order to get more videos like this one. Thanks a lot.